Hey guys, I'm just going to run through real quick how to do the basic trapezoid method. If you remember back to when we did the rectangular method, we basically broke down a curve into rectangles. Well, now we're just going to do some trapezoids. Okay, very simple, very basic. All you really need to remember is one formula, which you should already know technically. So let's go ahead and do one we know pretty well, x squared, and I'm going to go from 0 to 5. And instead of drawing rectangles, I'm going to draw a trapezoid. So first one's kind of stupid, but 2, 3, just like it was back when we did rectangles. If I use 0 as my endpoint, my rectangle didn't have any height to it. So technically, if I were to try to draw this trapezoid, I mean, it really ends up being a triangle, right? So you'll see it a little better with the second one. There's a trapezoid. And there's a trapezoid. And look at that, there's another one. Don't look now. One more. Alright, so we're breaking it down into 5 quote-unquote trapezoids. Technically 4 trapezoids and a triangle, but the formula is going to be the same. As long as you can remember this, 1/2, base 1 plus base 2 times the height. If you can remember that, you can do any trapezoidal method that they ask you to do. No matter how many trapezoids they give you, no matter what your heights are, remember the height, it's kind of like sideways, so that's actually the height. Okay, these are your bases. Base 1, base 2. As long as you can do that for each individual trapezoid, no matter what they give you, you'll be able to do any of these. Okay, so let's do it for this. So my area is going to be approximately my trap 5 method, and that's going to be 1/2. Base 1, I guess technically would be 0. Base 2 for the first one would be 1 times my height. My height I conveniently picked to be 1. Now, of course, they're not always going to work out that way. In fact, I think most of the examples, they end up trying to twist it on you, but that's the basic idea. So that's my first one. Got it. Second one, 1/2, base 1 plus base 2, 4, right? 2 squared. Remember, this is x squared. So 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, and 5 squared get me my different bases that I'm going to need. And then again, my height was 1 plus 1/2. Now it's going to be 4 and 9 as my bases, right? 4 and 9 as my bases for my third trapezoid. So that's going to be this one times 1 plus, what do I got? 9 and 16. And then, of course, 1/2, 16, and 25. Now, if you have, obviously the 1/2 can come out if you want to simplify. And if all the heights are the same, you can technically take out the heights. And then you've got to realize, there's also some duplication here. There's 2 1s, right? Because the 1 is the right base of the first trapezoid, but the left base of the second trapezoid. The double up on the 4s, the 9s, the 16s, and then the only other one that's a singleton is the last one. So the first and the last one are by themselves, and then you duplicate all the rest. But they're not going to ask you to do like a million of these, so it's not that big a deal. But if you do notice it, you can use it. But again, it only works when all the heights are the same. Otherwise, you're going to have to do them separately. So this turns out to be, what's that going to be? 1/2, 1, 2, 6, 10, 19, 28, 54, 70, 60, 85. I think I did that right. 1, 2, 6, 10, 19, 28, 44, 60, 85. And then, of course, the 1 came out also. So that's 42.5. Pretty good approximation, actually. I think 41 2/3 is what it was when we did it, the right way. And I don't know if you remember, but when we did the left-hand method and the right-hand method, we got, I think it was 30 and 55. 30 and 55 is 85. So the trapezoid method is actually the exact average of the left rectangle method and the right rectangle method. Now, it seems kind of silly to have to do both of those to get this, but I guess if you're really in a jam, I guess you could get it if you had to, but I think this is pretty easy as long as you can just remember a little bit of geometry. Okay, I think that should do it. All of them are done the same way. The only thing that changes is the heights sometimes change. Obviously, the bases can change depending on what the function is, and the 1/2 is just part of the formula, so that should pretty much do it. All right, let me know if you have any questions, and I think you guys are pretty much all set for the entire worksheet. Any of the problems from the book, and the AP style problems. Obviously, the AP style problems, the open-ended, have multiple pieces to them. They're not just trapezoid or just average value. So Some of it's old school. Okay? Let me know if you need any help. I'll talk to you later. Bye.